Welcome back, everybody. As you probably guessed from the title of the video as well as the thumbnail, today we're going over a product from the folks at Bulletproof Everyone. Pretty interesting. I'm actually wearing it right now, and you may be able to see it underneath just a normal loose-fitting t-shirt. But I would imagine going about your day-to-day business, no one would give you a funny look at all if you were wearing this right now, and it's going to give you, in this case, level 3A protection. And I'll just turn around and let you guys get a good look at it. And then with that, let's take the shirt off and then, well, don't get too excited, but take the shirt off, take the product off so I can give you guys an up close and personal look at it. And then of course, we're going to shoot it and see when it dies. So this is what I was just wearing. This comes in a couple colors, black and white. Additionally, several different armor levels as well. They actually offer level 2 armor, level 3A, and then level 3A plus. And all of them fit in the same system. What's cool about Bulletproof Everyone as well is that it's not, if you get like a set of armor like we have here for this particular low vis option, it actually fits in the same size of their other clothes. So they make like hoodies, jackets, etc. So the armor panels are interchangeable. These particular ones for this large size shirt are going to be 12 by 16, super thin. Armor is all made in America. It's 0.19 inches. So very thin, very lightweight, very flexible, as you can see out of the box rather. And level 3A, just so you guys know, should stop all of your common handgun calibers, you know, your 9mm, 10mm, 45 up to and including 357 Magnum as well as 44 Magnum. Of course, here on the channel, we are going to test that today, and we're going to shoot it and see what it stops. And I'm guessing it's going to stop what it's rated for. Most stuff nowadays does, particularly when it is US made armor. Quality control tends to be where you want it to be, and we're going to push it beyond that and see how far we can go. But getting back into the actual garment here, this is a medium sized one, so they have different sizes. Just to let you guys know, I'm 6 feet tall right now, probably about 195, 200 pounds, and you guys saw how it fit me as the person wearing it as a size large. Basically, this is going to be the front of it as you see it. It's nice moisture wicking material, and you can take your armor panels out via these zippers here on the sides, and it's pretty simple. I mean, that's kind of how it works. And putting it on, one thing that's nice is they include this zipper here. I would imagine if you're sitting in your house in the air conditioning, it's probably not a big deal. If you're out here in the range when it's like 98 degrees right now and humid, that is a big deal because it was much easier to get over my sweaty body today to put it on for you guys. And I would imagine that's also just good for movement of any kind. So if you're doing any kind of dynamic movement, having the ability to adjust that and move it certainly is nice. Additionally, here on the back, it's a very, very similar setup. Basically, armor comes out the side if you want it to. And again, super thin. And that's pretty much it. It's a very sleek design. In terms of concealable armor, it's probably the most concealable I've used to date. I've used a few different systems, as you guys have seen here on the channel, but this is pretty slick, pretty streamlined. And another cool point is that right now, if you guys purchase any of the armor clothing options over there at Bulletproof Everyone, there'll be a link down below in the video description, but if you purchase any of those, you guys will get a free armor backpack with the code here on your screen. So I do appreciate the folks over there at Bulletproof for sending it out and then giving that offer to my viewers. Now let's head over to the dummy and start shooting this thing. We've got the armor downranged at about 10 feet, so we're pretty darn close here. We're going to start out with some 380 coming out of the Beretta 30X Cheetah. It's just some 90 grain FMJs. Let's check it out. Because we're using our clear ballistics dummy here, I am not going to take this thing off every time. It's just way too hard with that material. It kind of sticks to it. But we will show you. I'm looking in the gel. It didn't go through, and obviously nothing there on the back. When something goes through, I assure you, I'll let you know. Up next, we have some Minuteman munitions. Big thanks to them for being the 9mm sponsor, coming out of my MP5 SD. And this one fires in fast semi-auto, so we'll see how that does. Malfunctions make things not fun. Let's keep going. There we go. It's always more fun when the guns actually work. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 total impacts there with the 9mm. Looking in there, I can see absolutely nothing. And I can feel, actually, I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but that's one of the bullets right there. It's one of the beauties of that polyethylene type armor is that it is multi-hit rated. So it can just keep going and keep going and keep taking rounds. So we're gonna test that out by shooting some more. Next up, we have some 45 ACP, obviously responsible for winning 2 world wars. We'll see how it does here against this armor. Well, in all seriousness, the 45 did make that torso move, which that's the first for this test so far. So maybe it is super duper powerful, but obviously that's our impact right there. I can still feel the bullet. It's literally stuck in the armor. Absolutely no pass through. That did cause a slight tear though to the back of the shirt on that impact, but there's no deformation or anything like that in the gel. Let's keep going. As we said at the beginning of the video, it's rated up to 357 Magnum as well as 44 Magnum. Well, here we are. 357 Magnum come out at 4-inch barrel on the SAR. This is 180 grain Swift A-frame Federal, so certainly not a light load at all. And again, we're about 10 feet, so we'll see if it can live up to its rating. I was trying to spread it out to give you guys a fresh hole, and we succeeded there with that revolver. So looking in there, we have absolutely no pass through. That is the bullet. I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but it's sitting there, and that one definitely thumped it harder than 45, and it did in fact tear the back of the shirt. So it looks like the actual bullet itself, but still encased in the armor, to be clear, pushed into that gel just a little bit on the back side. I might be able to show you guys that. I don't know, let me see. Yeah, you might be able to see. I don't know if you guys can see that, but a little bit of touching up of the ribs, if you will. Probably would have stung a bit, but that's a hot load. I mean, that's a full house 357 Magnum load. So let's keep going. Obviously, at this point, the armor has lived up to what it's rated for, but we always push beyond that here on the channel, and we're about to go way beyond that. This is, of course, my 500 Magnum with the 8 3/8 inch barrel. And we have a load, a 350 grain Underwood ammo load here. So I don't think they make that load anymore. It's an older load, but it's hot. So 100%, this armor is not rated for this at all. And if you guys like arthritis, this is the gun for you. Let's see. Oh, nasty. I'm not sure how that looked with the slow motion, but in person, it looked horrifically violent. So basically right here is where it impacted, and then it did not, all right, so when I saw that, I thought it went through. And the reason for that is the way that the armor reacted. That kind of, typically when you hit something with soft armor with something that big, it all kind of shrinks up into one, and if it stops it. This one shrunk up a little bit, but not as much as I would expect for something that stopped it. And now that I'm looking at it, I can actually see why. So what it did was tear out the side of it. Interesting. But it absolutely didn't go through. So the armor, this is the edges of it, but the bullet's right there. I don't know if you guys can see that. That's the bullet right there. So the bullet's still in there with probably half the layers of armor behind it. So it's definitely stopped it. But I think it just put so much pressure on it that it just tore the layers apart. But obviously, as you guys can see there, again, it stopped it. And then if we look down at the actual gel, we had probably a 1/2 inch of movement into it, and that's just from the absolute force that 500 Magnum is putting out there. So 100% it stopped it. I'd be willing to bet you'd be quite sore, but it's better than having that in you, right? Like if those are your two choices, sore or that inside you or through you, I'm gonna go with sore. So absolutely stop 500 Magnum. Very, very impressive. Just to reiterate for everybody at home, the armor has stood up to what it's rated for. We always kill armor on the channel. It's kind of what we do. And there's a pretty decent shot. We're about to do it right now. So this is Fiocchi. This is their black ballistic tip 5.7 round. Again, they actually make a level 3 plus, 3A plus, excuse me, that should stop this. That's not what this is. This is 3A. So it's not rated for this at all. And that nasty tip right there with the ballistic coefficient this bullet has, I would say, if I had to guess, I think this one's going through. Coming out of the Smith & Wesson with the Banshee silencer on there. So put your bets down below. Let me know what you think. Going through or not? Let's see. Well, as y'all saw, not a lot of movement on the armor. That was our impact point. And, ooh, I don't know. It went through. It did. Like I said, that is one that it's going to cause it a lot of issues. Let's just say, with that ballistic tip on there and the ballistic coefficient of it. So it did go through, went through the armor, and then went in, as you guys can see there, about 4 inches. So we have killed the armor, but we will keep going. So that was the first time I've ever used that round during armor testing, and I want to test if regular, this is like 40 grain, the federal stuff that we typically use here, 5.7, will do the same thing. I'm genuinely curious at this point. Let's find out. As y'all just saw with the slow motion, that was our hit there with that 5.7 round. And I don't know either if that went through. Did that go through? Hold on. Let me see. That did go through. Interesting. 5.7. Like I said, this is not rated for it. But I like testing things to see what they can and can't do. And this one obviously cannot do 5.7. Very interesting. So if you see there, that one went in, I don't know, maybe 2 inches. Not sure if you guys can see that. Maybe 2 inches. So it barely went in. But yeah, stopped what it's rated for. Did not stop 5.7. Well, as longtime viewers of the channel know, when we switch positions here during armor tests, that means we're done shooting the armor. So we are done. This lived up to everything it was rated for, and in fact surpassed it. In no way, shape, or form is this level 3A from Bulletproof Everyone rated to stop 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum, especially an underwood load coming out of it. So it did, as you guys saw, which is impressive, especially when you consider this armor panel is so thin, like I said, 0.19 inches, and very, very malleable, low pro system, as you guys saw in the intro. You guys can see there on the back all the ratings and the fact that, of course, it is made here in Washington. Washington State, you guys need to get new politicians. But anyway, very, very good performance by this stuff here, as you guys saw. And again, if you want to stop 5.7, if that's a concern of yours, get the level 3A plus. It's an option they offer. But again, not what we were shooting out here. Definitely thanks to them again for giving that code for our viewers to get a free backpack if anybody wants to pick anything up. And of course, thanks to them for sending it out as well. Bulletproof Everyone, they have a lot of other cool stuff though. So if you don't want a low pro shirt like this, an undershirt, check out their hoodies, their jackets. They make a bunch of stuff that is just good. And I think as the decay of our country continues, which they ain't no doubt, it's in decay right now and decline, I think things like this are only going to become more and more popular across the nation for sure. Slide it back in there and see just how easy that is to do, because I actually haven't done that yet. But as you can see, very malleable, very easy to get in there. And just like that, we're back in business and good to go. So like I said, if you wanted to swap garments, if you had their hoodie and this shirt, it's that easy to swap it out when you switch what you're doing. And actually, I think, speaking of that, for a hoodie would be even better, because obviously where I live, it's pretty much always hot. And but if you guys have a hoodie, that's going to give you extra insulation as well. So not only the advantage of having armor, but also more insulation. So I do dig that. Again, there will be a link down below. And if anybody wants to pick it up. And if you guys like this video and you're not subscribed, make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you've done that and you're not seeing 2 to 4 videos a week here on the channel, you're being censored, because I am nothing if not consistent. We put up 2 to 4 videos every week on the channel. And the way to get around that censorship is to sign up for my email at the website here on your screen. This email goes out monthly. It has all of the videos since the previous month's email went out. so that way there's no big tech giant censoring your eyes from my content. Additionally, if this goes on sale, any of the guns we use goes on sale, the ammo, optics, anything like that goes on sale, it will go out in my daily deals email. That email goes out every day, as the name indicates, and it has 6 to 7 of the best deals that we find around the internet. If it's in that email, it's the cheapest I know of anywhere on the internet because I did the price comparisons for you, so that way it saves you some time, rather, excuse me if I can talk, and hopefully saves you some money as well. So with that, we'll close it out. Thank you all for watching. I truly appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing everybody in the next video.